Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the second edition of the Committee on Commerce and Labor for the 82nd session of the Nevada State Legislature. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Senator Buck. Here. Senator Daly. Here. Senator Hammond. Here. Senator Lang. Here. Senator Pazina. Present. Senator Scheibel. Senator Stone. Here. Senator Chair Spearman.
Present, and please mark Senator Scheibel excused absence, please. I want to welcome everyone who's joining us here in Carson City and to those who are joining us from Las Vegas and anyone listening on the internet remotely. Today is Tourism Day. And wow, I mean, the hallways are very festive. I looked up and I said, something must be happening here today. So it's Tourism Day, so I'd like to welcome everyone, the Nevada Resort Association and some of our local chambers. And I see someone down south, so welcome everyone. So I want to do a couple of housekeeping items. The first thing I'd like you to do is, if you got one of these that looks something like that, if it's an Apple, a BlackBerry, a Bluebird, or whatever, just turn it to silent. If it goes off while we're in the meeting, I'm going to come and take it and say hello. Okay, so make sure you turn your phones off. As you know, these meetings can be viewed through our streaming service or the Legislative YouTube channel, both of which can be accessed on the Legislature's website. There are various ways members of the public can engage with us and participate throughout the process, and these include in person, in Carson City in the Grant Sawyer Building in Las Vegas, telephonically. Instruction for telephone participation is available on today's meeting agenda. Submitting written comment to the committee email address listed on the agenda, or by sharing your opinion via the legislature's opinion application on Nellis. Anyone wishing to testify in person should sign in at the table by the door, and please present a business card, if you have one, to the committee secretary. Any exhibits for the committee must be submitted in electronic format no later than 8:00 a.m. the day before the meeting. Submit exhibits to our committee manager, Terry Miller, or our committee policy analyst, Cesar Megarejo. Committee contact information may be found on the committee page in Nellis. When testifying, please remember to turn your microphone on and turn it off when you finish, and clearly state your name and entity you represent at the beginning of your testimony. Speak clearly and project your voice to ensure those watching remotely can hear your testimony. And please remember to turn the microphone off again when you finish speaking. And speaking into the microphone is very important, because those who are listening remotely, if you don't speak into the microphone, then the only thing that they hear when you start talking is this. So please make sure that you talk into the microphone, okay? A reminder to all those who testify pursuant to Nevada Revised Statutes NRS 218E.085, it is unlawful for a person to knowingly misrepresent facts when testifying before a legislative committee. A person who knowingly does so is guilty of a misdemeanor, and all committee-related information is available on Nellis, which is accessible from the legislature's website. And finally, again, please turn off all of your electronic devices, especially cell phones, or put them in silent mode during the meeting. The first item on the agenda is adoption of amended committee rules, which are posted on Nellis. And the amendment to the rules is in rule number 2, which notes that the quorum is 5 members. This session we gained an additional member, which changes the minimum number of members that we must have for a quorum. Are there any questions? Okay. Okay. I have a motion from Vice Chair Lang. Do I have a second? I have a second from Senator Daly. Any questions? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? And the motion carries. Let the record show that the motion carries unanimously. So we will begin now with a presentation from the Nevada Resort Association. Virginia Valentine, President, please come forward. And welcome again. And it seems like we're running into each other every 2 weeks, so that's a good thing, huh? And
yes,
I hope
that is a good thing.
I hope you're going to talk about renewable energy. That's one of my favorite subjects here. So, all right, welcome, Ms. Valentine. Introduce yourself for the record, and let's hold off on any questions until she finishes. Please proceed.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair, Madam Vice Chair, members of the Senate Committee on Commerce and Labor. I'm so pleased to be here this morning with you all. My name is Virginia Valentine, and I'm the president of the Nevada Resort Association. This morning, we want to talk about the opportunity of getting the gaming's connection to the Nevada economy before you. So it's nice that it's Tourism Day and something's happening here in the building. So as you know, in Nevada, something is happening every day. So let's see if I've got this set up and you're seeing it all. Kind of have a theme today of a rising tide lifts all boats. And when the resort industry is strong, then that lifts all Nevadans. So when resorts do well, more jobs are created. So one of the things we like to talk about are the impact on jobs and revenue and capital investment. So we're going to start with jobs this morning. Nevada's employment in the tourism and leisure industry represents about 23% of the direct jobs, and the total number of jobs supported is about 386 jobs. So I want you all to picture for a minute an employee in the gaming industry, and what I imagine that you're seeing, or maybe not you because you're all Nevadans and you know a little bit about the industry, but I think most people would imagine someone standing behind a blackjack table in a white shirt and black pants. But as all of you know, the employees in the tourism industry are much more diverse than that. We have lawyers, accountants, finance people, auditors, engineers, electricians, tradespeople, teamsters, carpenters, painters, mechanics, warehouse people, union jobs, IT people, technology jobs, people in sales and marketing, people in HR, people in security, people in procurement, retail, people in the spa, and even biologists at Shark Reef. So we have just about any kind of job you can imagine somewhere in the resort industry that job class is employed. So that's, we think, kind of speaks to the diversity of our employees. So also when the resorts do well, more Nevadans have health insurance. In 2022, $1.4 billion was spent on health insurance and benefits last year, and that is the most amongst any industry in Nevada. That's about $4,000 per employee in the leisure and hospitality industry annually. And when resorts do well, more businesses are created. The number of private businesses since the pandemic has grown by 22,500. Of course, resorts couldn't do what they do without businesses to support them. So there are all kinds of businesses that the resort industry supports. There are the ones that are probably pretty obvious that you see pulling up to the property to deliver produce and meats and wine and spirits. And then there are maybe the not so obvious ones, like something that your chair was able and Senator Pizzina were able to join us on a tour where you see the back of the house and you see the loading docks and the great business operator there called, I think it's New Oil, and they are a minority business that sorts through all of the waste that comes out of the resort. They pull out the recyclables, the metals, the plastics, the paper, anything that's recyclable, food, and they process that. They have about 300 to 400 employees. So there are those kind of businesses. And then, of course, when we set up for meetings and trade shows, there are all the businesses that come in and do the flowers and the setup and provide the catering. And so it's quite, it's an industry that's really dependent on a lot of small businesses. And then again, you have the people on property. So those are the tenants, the retailers, the restaurants, the entertainment, the people who come to the property to do their business. So we have a pretty big impact on private businesses. And again, because the resorts are doing well, the number of private business associated with the gaming and hospitality and leisure industry has grown significantly since the pandemic. Resorts do well. When resorts do well, the economy recovers more rapidly. I think you probably all read that we're having all-time highs in this post-pandemic period. The airport passenger volumes are up, average daily room rates are up, consumer spending is up. We haven't completely recovered in things like international travel or the number of visitors, but definitely the signs are all trending in the right direction. When resorts do well, more schools are built. I think probably most of you know that a portion of the room tax in Clark County is dedicated to the construction of new schools, and it's been a significant number. Since let's see, in the last 10 years, 26 new elementary schools have been funded by room tax, and that's about 48 total since 2000 when the room tax was first allocated towards new construction of schools. And when resorts do well, more transportation projects are funded. Room tax dedicated to transportation projects has been $537 million in the last 10 years, or $1 billion since the year 2000. When resorts do well, Nevada's general fund has more money. This has been a record-setting year in the gaming industry. Gaming revenues are at all-time highs in Nevada. And continuing this pace, don't know if that'll be sustainable, but Nevada experienced the largest increase in gaming revenue in history, reaching a total historic peak of $14.6 billion in activity in 2022. I think you all know that we talk about these total general fund tax revenues, it's about $5.4 billion. The contributions from hotel casino industry are about $1.9 billion. Of course, that includes the gross gaming tax revenue, live entertainment tax, slot taxes, the other kind of taxes that the industry pays, and all those business taxes that other businesses pay also. So the total contribution from the hotel casino industry in the state is about 36% of the state's general fund. And when resorts do well, Nevada non-gaming businesses benefit. And I spoke about some of those a little bit already, but also those other industries, tourism. I don't know how many people are employed at the airport, but there are tens of thousands of people that are employed at Harry Reid Airport. The construction that goes on when rooms are remodeled or new construction, new projects are built, significant number of retail industries, and the list goes on and on. And when resorts do well, the industry imports special events and their guests. And this is, when people ask me, how do I feel about economic diversification in Nevada, or how does my industry help support diversification, I would argue that the expansion into the tourism, of the tourism industry into sports entertainment has just absolutely been huge. In fact, not just sports, but entertainments of all kinds. This slide shows a picture of what the setup for F1 will look like. F1 is going to be an absolutely phenomenal event. Yesterday, someone told me that one of the differences between, as fabulous as Super Bowl is, one of the differences between F1 and Super Bowl is that in Super Bowl you have 2 teams. In F1, you have 10 teams. The Super Bowl is one event with a lot of associated events, but F1 through qualifying through the actual race is many days. So we expect about 125,000 guests in Southern Nevada during F1. So it's going to be a fabulous event. We're very excited about that. This is Allegiant Stadium. Again, another project funded in part by room tax, which is also funding the construction of new facilities for the Las Vegas Visitor and Convention Center. The Allegiant Stadium is the most economically productive stadium in the country. It makes about two times the amount of revenue that they make at SoFi in LA. So this project's been a huge success and is having economic returns to the community. So when resorts do well, the industry reinvests in itself and in Nevada. In Southern Nevada, there are about $20 billion of projects under construction. And in Northern Nevada, there are about $3 billion of hospitality and leisure projects under construction. So back to the theme of a rising tide lifts all boats. We're setting records. Things are going very well. It's going well across the state and all the different economic interests that do business with hospitality and leisure. I've been in Nevada for about 40 years. I've seen the economy go up and down with the savings and loan crisis in the 80s. To the, September 11th, which was a short but deep downturn in the economy in 2001, the 2017 unfortunate events at October 1st, again, economic downturn, and again, a response. About 2019, when we thought things couldn't get any better, the pandemic hit, and we were closed for an unprecedented 76 days, during which time there was very little gaming revenue. There was no LAT. There were no hotel rooms sold on the Strip. And so we know that it's still a very vulnerable industry. But I'm very happy to say here today that things are looking good in 2022. I'm told by the members that The projections, the bookings looking out also look really good. So I want to leave here on a high note and just tell you how really happy I am to be here with the good news this morning. Be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Ms. Valentine. Questions, committee members? Senator Pezzina?
Thank you very much for being here today for Tourism Day. You know, the question I would have, and thank you for sharing the numbers of direct, indirect jobs and economic impact. Is there one point that you would like to leave us with in regards to Tourism Day and the impact of the resorts?
Chair Spearman, to you and through you to Senator Pezzina.
Yeah, just go direct.
Thank you. Virginia Valentine for the record, Nevada Resort Association. If I could leave you with one thought, I think it's on the slide, and that is a rising tide lifts all boats. When we're doing well, the boats in Nevada, big or small, all come up with this. So, and of course, the converse of that is true also. So I think we have to always be mindful that when you're looking at the volatility maybe of the tourism industry, it pretty much tracks with the volatility of the state revenue. So I would say right now, like I say, we're doing good, and we're happy that that's benefiting all Nevadans. Thank you for the question.
Vice Chair Lang?
So you mentioned all the different ups and downs that we've had over the last 20 years. I'm just wondering what we learned from the pandemic and how we better prepare for another event, because there will be one, something, we don't know what it will be, but how do we better prepare?
Virginia Valentine to Senator Lang. You know, that's a really great question, and I wish I had a one-size-fits-all answer. I'm going to use the most recent example, which was Saturday, of a possible fuel leak, and the idea that during Super Bowl weekend, when we have, I don't know how many people in Las Vegas, that people would not be able to fill their tanks and go home. So building a resilient infrastructure is always going to be key, and that can be resilient infrastructure in healthcare. It can be a resilient infrastructure in transportation. It can be a resilient infrastructure in fuel pipelines. So fortunately, I think that gave everybody a pretty good scare. It was the people, the powers that be were on it pretty quickly and coming up with plans. I think going forward, they'll look at making that system more resilient, which could mean more storage or other things. But I do appreciate the question because we are very vulnerable. I mean, the interesting thing about all of those events or those downturns I mentioned, I'm not sure any of them, I mean, there are always people looking, you know, hindsight's always great, right? Who say, well, you know, I saw that coming, but I don't know who could have anticipated something like October 1st or the pandemic or the fuel leak or the savings and loan crash. I mean, those things I think are very hard to foresee. But I do think the important thing is that when we do see something like that, that we take that as an opportunity to make our system more resilient and to respond. So I think that's all we can do is maybe learn from those and try to be better prepared the next time.
Thank you. Additional questions? So I just have one. You left off my favorite subject.
I know. Senator Spearman, you know, I could probably give you a whole presentation on renewable energy. And I want to say, again, thank you, Virginia Valentine for the record, but again, thank you for those of you who take the time and those of you who hadn't yet, we would love to take you on a back-of-house tour and talk to you about sustainability and renewable energy and show you some of the projects that we have underway. So that remains a very high priority. I think if you Google zero carbon travel, you'll see that's very important to our guests too. It's important to our employees. It's important to us being responsible corporate presence in the community. So renewable energy is very high on the priority list, and maybe I can get back to you with some more specifics on that. Thank you.
Okay, just have one question you may or may not be able to answer, but one of the things that impressed me when we did the back of the house was the total, I guess, universal recycling that is done from start to finish. How many dollars are saved just by moving into sustainable operations, whether that's renewable energy, whether that's recycling? What does that look like? How many dollars do you think are saved? And if you could just hazard a guess on the supply chain that's involved, that actually, we talked about jobs and we looked at, you know, what's available in the industry directly, but I'm thinking about indirectly because I'm thinking about the platform where they separated all of the objects. So how many dollars are saved, and what does that look like in terms of supply chain?
I would be happy to get back to you with some numbers on that. I don't have the available today. I just want to say I'm grateful that you didn't ask me about hydrogen because I don't know anything about hydrogen.
I won't ask that today.
Okay, not today.
No. And the reason I ask that is because I think a lot of times when people think tourism, when they think, you know, the Strip, when they think resorts, we think about the hotels, we think about the gaming, we think about food, that sort of thing. But there's some things that happen behind the scenes that also produce jobs, and I just don't want us to forget about those as well.
Yeah, I Virginia Valentine for the record, and I will get back to you with some figures on that. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Yeah. Senator Stone.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair. And Ms. Valentine, it's great to hear your presentation. Thank you for being here and giving us all those robust, good information. You know, a large percentage of people that travel to Las Vegas each weekend, a lot of them are Californians. I made that drive probably about 500 times. The traffic is getting worse. It's certainly not your issue, but I was just curious. We've heard about this train that's supposed to go from LA to Victorville to Las Vegas, which I think would be an economic boon for us. Do you have any input in that as to whether or not you really believe that's going to come to fruition? We've heard a lot of talk about it for a long time, and what an effect it would have on tourism here in Las Vegas.
Virginia Valentine for the record to Senator Stone. That is the Brightline project you're speaking of. We have been involved in supporting their efforts to get funded and get underway. I think it's a great project. I'll have to get back to you on the numbers on how that benefits us, but again, as you know, that's an electric train, so it's going to have a smaller carbon footprint than just vehicles. And of course, anytime we can get vehicles off of I-15 into another mode, that benefits the rest of us who have to drive I-15. So thank you for the question.
You bet. Nice meeting you, and thanks again for the presentation.
Thank you.
Additional questions? No? I just have one more that I forgot about. So we've got Formula One coming, is it November, later on this year? Or
it's fall, right?
Fall, yeah, in the fall. So, and then we've got Super Bowl coming. One of the unfortunate things about having high-profile sports events is that it also attracts predators. And because people are celebrating, well, shall I say, a lot, the numbers for DV always go up. Are you all looking at doing anything with respect to partnering with some community organizations to help Safe Nest, those sorts of things, and then to also make sure that we have, we're being very vigilant on identifying those who are involved in human trafficking?
Virginia Valentine, to Chair Spearman, I am really glad you asked that question. So I am on the Super Bowl host committee. The Super Bowl host committee oversees, I'm going to say maybe like 16 or 17 different committees, and a couple of them are focused specifically on what you're talking about. Some of those are community giving. There will be charitable fundraising that will go to, the Super Bowl, we want to leave some legacy projects in the Valley, so we will be looking at probably a lot of it focused on youth, both with the NFL and the host committee, but we will be looking at those kind of community impacts. There's also a group that will be working on engaging community and small businesses. There'll be a group working on anti-trafficking. So I think that Super Bowl deserves a presentation of its own, because it is a huge production, it's a big event, and it is, again, just sort of, it's complex, it's many-faceted, and would welcome the opportunity to provide you with more information on that too.
Be careful what you ask for.
Thank you.
Yeah, so, and my last request is this. We've done a lot for men who are veterans, but in the grand scheme of things, we've not done jack diddly for women. And so I'm on this crusade to say, please pay attention to the women, because there's still a shortage of housing, there's a shortage of help, especially for those who are suffering from MST and those sorts of things. And so as everybody's looking at the community, please don't forget about the women veterans, because we serve too.
Virginia Valentine, thank you. We will.
Thank you. No additional questions? Thank you, Ms. Valentine. I appreciate your testimony and the presentation.
Thank you
One
very
of the
much.
things that I forgot to do is I wanted to give Senator Messina, this is an idea that she came up with, and I'm glad that she did, and just wanted to give her a chance to say a few words about it as we're waiting on the Reno Sparks Chamber to come forward. Senator Messina?
Thank you so much, Madam Chair. Tourism Day is really close to my heart as it's the industry that I've been passionate about for many years as a former president of the Las Vegas Hospitality Association and most recently a member of the Commission on Tourism. So knowing that Tourism Day was coming to the legislature, I was thrilled that the chair was willing to entertain having some members of the tourism community and the chambers come and speak to us about the economic impact of tourism. So thank you very much.
Thank you. And we welcome Ms. Silver, who is the Executive Officer for the Reno Sparks Chamber of Commerce. Please proceed when you're ready.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair Spearman and members of the Senate Commerce and Labor Committee. My name is Ann Silver, CEO of the Reno Sparks Chamber of Commerce, a 501c6 organization, and I appreciate the opportunity to provide the following information as requested. We are the largest business organization in Northern Nevada, with over 2,200 members, comprised of corporations as large as Tesla and Panasonic, as sports-oriented as the Las Vegas Raiders, the Golden Knights, and the National Basketball Association, and as diverse as hundreds of small businesses, independent contractors, and over 250 nonprofit organizations. The Chamber employs 3 full-time employees and 1 part-time employee. I've had the honor of being the CEO since December 2016. Among our members are the Volunteers of America, Work for Warriors, the Wall Street Corridor, the Black Wall Street Corridor, the Reno Sparks NAACP, the Nevada Women's Fund, the Veterans Guest House, the Nevada Veterans Memorial Plaza, the Reno Sparks Indian Colony, and several Black-owned event operators such as Queued Up and Lifetime Adventures. In 2018, the former Latin Chamber of Commerce merged with the Reno Sparks Chamber, ensuring a more robust budget, visibility, and format for specific issues facing the expanding Latino business community. And monthly, the Chamber hosts the Washoe County Workforce Consortium with members of 92 nonprofit organizations that provide social services and workforce training to thousands of Washoe County residents each year. We meet the 3rd Thursday of each month and have done so since its inception many years ago. The Reno Sparks Chamber of Commerce answers all incoming calls regarding requests for information from visitors, those relocating to the area, convention attendees, and tourists from all over the country. And we maintain an open public space where all visitor brochures, maps, booklets, and magazines are easily accessible. We provide consistent outreach to our community, welcoming any and all licensed businesses and nonprofits to join our chamber. The nonprofit organization rate is $100 per year, and other rates are based on the number of full-time employees indicated by the company or organization. Our average member pays $399 per year. We maintain a public policy committee comprised of 7 board members, and each year the committee recommends a public policy platform to the full board. Once approved, it is printed and distributed to all elected officials at the state, county, and municipal levels and emailed to all chamber members. You'll soon be receiving your copies. We abolished our political action committee in 2017, and we neither endorse nor raise campaign funds for any person running for any office at any level. The Reno Sparks Chamber endorses policies, not people. We do not receive any federal, state, county, or city funding, and rely solely on member dues, sponsorships, and partnerships. The list of our partners are attached to your documents. We utilize contributions from our sponsors and partners to underwrite the many programs and events we consistently provide our membership at no charge. We have 167 business owners who identify as Hispanic Latinx members. Jesus Gutierrez serves on our board of directors and owns 4 Mexican restaurants and Sparks in Reno, including his large operation at the Reno Tahoe International Airport. Of a board of 16 voting members, 7 are women, one of whom represents the Asian and Filipino communities. We share a building with the Reno Sparks Convention and Visitors Authority, and I sit on the RSCVA Board of Directors. The Chamber also serves on the board of the Economic Development Authority of Western Nevada, better known as EDON, the Advisory Board of UNR's College of Business, the board of our Performing Arts Center, the Truckee Meadows Water Authority, and the Education Alliance of the Washoe County School District. And I was pleased to chair then Governor-elect Lombardo's Workforce Development Committee that recommended consolidation of 5 different state agencies involved in workforce training. We offer a quarterly chamber open house that welcomes any business seeking more information about the Reno-Sparks Chamber of Commerce and its programs. Last Tuesday, we had over 45 attendees and 67 attendees last Wednesday evening at our Business After Hours event at PBS Reno. Please permit me to list some of our many events and programs. Our annual meeting, known as Alliance, features the CEOs of the Economic Development Authority, the Reno Convention and Visitors Authority, the Reno-Tahoe Airport Authority, and myself. It is open to the public. The annual Reno-Sparks Leadership Program has been operating since 1985. It convenes May through December with 30 participants. Our annual HR Boot Camp is for human resource professionals at all levels. Our annual Nonprofit Boot Camp is available to all nonprofits. Our annual Civics class, Civics 101, is conducted in collaboration with the National Judicial College, and we're very proud of that course. Our annual microgrant program for small businesses or nonprofits that can receive up to $5,000 is done quarterly. The annual Health and Wellness Fair is open to the public, which provides free fitness testing, cooking demonstrations, mammograms, and other activities. Twice per year, we offer a Green Business Certification class, free and open to the public. And twice per year, we offer the Green Dining Establishment Certification class, which is free and open to the public. We host quarterly member volunteer days on behalf of nonprofit organizations in the community, and many of our board members and their children contribute their time and come on Saturday mornings to take part in this event. We offer 2 monthly networking events, one in the morning and one after work, held at various chamber members' locations. Our weekly chamber briefing is emailed to over 6,200 email addresses each Tuesday morning. Our Chamber EDU series features relevant business topics, which are open to all members at no charge. And the Chambers Association Health Plan is open to small businesses with between 2 and 50 full-time employees, and we charge a one-time affiliation fee for members of any other Nevada Chambers of Commerce members in order to enroll their members. We presently cover approximately 3,500 lives. We offer to administer the Chamber's 401k plan to all our members. We offer the Chamber's Dependent Care Assistance Program that permits employees to contribute pre-tax dollars for child care or elder care. Our Employee Mortgage Assistant Program is available for all members and their employees. We hold classes in U.S. citizenship on Saturday mornings in conjunction or collaboration with the Northern Nevada Literacy Council. We provide free use of our training room, which has a capacity of 75. Our chamber directory contains the name and contact information for all members, and it's posted on our chamber webpage, and we average 4.1 million views per year. And we provide regular updates to all members on legislative activity. And of course, I'm always available to provide testimony to any legislative committee on matters directly related to our chamber and our public policy platform. Thank you, Chair Spearman and committee members. This concludes my formal testimony, and I look forward to answering any questions you may have.
Thank you, Ms. Silver. Any questions, committee members? Well, either you all are doing a really good job. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Vice Chair Lang.
Appreciate it.
No, thank you, Chair. I was just going to say the same thing. I'm amazed at everything that you've accomplished and what you're doing. Congratulations.
Ann Silver to Senator Lang. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
So I just have a couple of questions. You mentioned green training.
Yes.
Can you tell me what's involved
Sure.
in that, please?
Yes, thank you for that question. Ann Silver to Chair Spearman. We're very proud to partner with Green Up, a nonprofit organization that serves Northern Nevada. We offer green business certification classes, which enables businesses to learn more about recycling, energy savings, and we've done the class twice. We have 27 graduates who actually receive a certificate, and we're very pleased to go over the fundamentals of things like recycling. And when we offer our green dining business certification, it's interesting to talk about not providing a glass of water unless asked for, using less straws, recycling, and composting. And so we cover all the basics. And one might think those are obvious, but we're excited to continue to offer those programs so that we are a green business dining community and green business community.
Thank you. You also mentioned Work for Warriors.
Yes.
Okay, can you speak a little bit about that, please?
Sure. That organization is primarily invested in finding job opportunities for veterans, and they are a chamber member. And in conducting our job fairs, we always invite Work for Warriors. We do what we can to promote jobs that we know veterans are clearly capable of doing. And we want to ensure that veterans have every opportunity to join the workforce, whether it's upskilling or taking jobs they may even be overqualified for. But our veterans are very important to us, and we want to ensure that they are counted as members of the workforce community.
Thank you. And last question. Do you all sponsor or collaborate with anyone that targets women veterans specifically?
Ann Silver to Chair Spearman. I'm not sure that it targets women specifically. We certainly could, but we consider veterans of both genders, and we open our job fair to everyone, and Work for Warriors opens their services to both men and women.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And I asked those questions specifically because during my time at the Pentagon, when we were reporting to the Chief of Staff, those who were KIA, there were a lot of women.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm always acutely aware that we still don't do enough for them, so thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? All right. Thank you, Ms. Silver. Okay. We will welcome now Urban Chair? He's in Las Vegas. Yeah, he's in Las Vegas. Yeah. Yeah, okay. We'll welcome now Jaron Gray, the CEO for the Urban Chamber of Commerce of Las Vegas. Welcome. And, okay, click. Okay, all right.
All right, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Welcome, sir, and please begin when you're ready.
Thank you, and thank you to the committee. Thank you to Committee Chair Spearman. Thank you for having me here this morning. My name is Jaron Gray. I actually serve as the board chair for the Urban Chamber of Las Vegas, or Urban Chamber of Commerce here in Las Vegas. So thank you for having me this morning. I just want to tell you a little bit about the history of the Urban Chamber this morning. I did submit a presentation. I'm not sure if you were able to receive it. Yes, thank you for pulling that up. Next slide, please. So like I said, just talking a little bit about the Urban Chamber and our mission, we want to create an innovative entrepreneurial space that promotes economic development for local and global businesses as well. We're focused very heavily on our small business community and how diverse we are, and making sure we promote opportunities for them as well. So as we talk about our vision statement, and this is the pie in the sky where we want to end up at one day, but lead businesses to compete in an ever-changing global economy through education, access, and opportunities. The Urban Chamber of Commerce has been serving small business in our community for over 30 years. We have a 30-year history. We stand on the backs of many giants here in our local committee. I could name many people, but I won't do that today. But definitely we stand on the backs of many giants for our history today. We serve small and diverse, underserved and minority small businesses in our community. We strive to be the premier business advocate for these small businesses. We have had successes in this area by partnering with individuals like many of you yourselves to push policies and initiatives that benefit small businesses in our state and local districts. And next slide, please. The Urban Chamber of Commerce currently serves 400 active members. They span different industries, including information technology, construction and trade services, food and hospitality, and many more. And I say many more because it spans so many different industries, from legal work to talking about doing personal services, so many different things. Our chamber is really all inclusive when it comes to our businesses and the diversity of the industries that they serve. A member of the chamber enjoys the following benefits: exclusive marketing opportunities, networking opportunities with chamber members, sponsors, and key contributors like yourselves. I'm easily accessible. So the relationship that they build with people like myself, we're able to have networks with people like you all, so that our members gain from those benefits as well. Business referral opportunities, global trade and investment programs, free ribbon cutting and open houses. Our ribbon cuttings are well known. We do quite a few as we gain new members. We always like to enjoy to do a ribbon cutting for them so that they get the highlight and the momentum of opening their new business and opening the doors. It's one of the highlights of our program. We just recently did a ribbon cutting for a 17th McDonald's location for Fresco here in Vegas last week. That was really a joy for all of us. Next slide, please. For small and diverse businesses, the Urban Chamber of Commerce is the only brand that provides access, engagement, and opportunities for procurement in local, regional, national, and global markets. This is our positioning statement. We are who we are. I'm very proud of the position that we've built in the community and what we've been able to do as boots on the ground here in Las Vegas to really support small businesses and gain opportunities for them. The Chamber strives to build real relationships, and I'll coin this phrase today under the tutelage of my former board chair, Mr. Shondell Newsom. We build real relationships with community leaders, once again, like many of you that are in the room today, to ensure that our small business owners have a voice in the right rooms with the right people. I'm very overjoyed and honored to be here with you all this morning, but this is the result of the positioning that the Urban Chamber has built over the last few years, and the last 30 years really, to be able to be invited to rooms like this and be able to give this type of testimony. So I thank you all this morning. Next slide. So meeting the needs of our business community, the Urban Chamber of Commerce meets the needs of its members and the business community at large by providing programming that addresses key barriers to opportunities. This is a big deal for us. So, and I'll leave you all with this, like as we go through the slide. We as business owners and the business owners in our community are not looking for handouts. We're looking for increased opportunities, more opportunities to do business, more opportunities to serve their employees, and more opportunities to serve the community. We try to do this by offering several programs. Two of our key programs are Capital Connections. We love to highlight what we do with Capital Connections, where we talk about alternative funding sources as well as traditional funding sources. We also do a workshop, and we try to connect business owners with funding sources within a day program that we do here in town. Contract Connections is very similar, where we want to connect our business owners with procurement opportunities for them to grow and expand and increase their business scope. So Contract Connections and Capital Connections are two of our key programs that we love to offer. Next slide, please. And as far as speaking about outreach programs and outreach of the Chamber, I'm sure we've probably left so many things out, but we provide outreach of our members through conventional and non-conventional methods. The conventional methods are providing platforms for our business owners to gain information and network and keep with key persons. And I'll say this, the conventional method is, of course, by offering networking opportunities. So the two programs that we love to highlight, or two events that we love to highlight, would be Coffee and Commerce and Direct Connect. These are two events we hold on a monthly basis. The Coffee and Commerce is a morning meeting that we hold. We give different information at this meeting where people come, talk about direct services, talk about opportunities, and talk about referral opportunities for our business owners. And then there's also a networking period during that time as well. We also hold a networking event that's an evening event during the month, which is Direct Connect. We're focusing Direct Connect around industries as we go forward, talking about things like clean energy, talking about things like trades, hospitality. So we'll focus on that as we go forward throughout this year with Direct Connect. But they've been two very successful events for us. And my focus as the board chair has always been, how do we create more commerce? How do we create more exchange of business when we hold these events? So that if we don't do it with excellence, or we don't do it with people leaving with a takeaway, there's no point in doing it. So that's what we focus on when we hold our events. We're talking about Direct Connect and Coffee and Commerce. And some of the non-conventional things that we do is working with people like yourselves, right, and building relationships with key individuals from the corporate sector, the public sector, and ensuring that our business owners have access to them. And how we get that direct access is the best way for them to do commerce as well. And next slide, please. I'd just like to say thank you. Thank you for the hard work you all have done in the first few weeks of this legislative session, and thank you for the work that you will do in the next few weeks. I also want to thank Senator Spearman for having us and inviting us today to tell a little bit about the history of the Urban Chamber. And I would be remiss if we didn't go to the next slide and just tell you how to get in contact with us. Please reach out to us at urbanchamber.org. You can always call our office or reach us by email as well, and stay in touch with us and stay connected. Building relations with you all is how we build commerce for our small business owners. And thank you. With that, I'll go ahead and end my presentation and welcome any questions from the committee.
Thank you, Mr. Gray. Committee members, any questions? You all are very thorough. Nobody has any questions. I'm starting to feel guilty because I have just a couple. So Nick Steele is doing something with financing for businesses, and I was looking here with the Direct Connect. Are you all partnering with him in any way?
Absolutely. So we work with Nick Steele and Access CDFI to be able to provide alternative financing sources. So in the program that I spoke a little bit about, which is Capital Connections, and talking about different funding sources, Nick Steele is a big part of that. In addition, I would also like to mention Envy Grow, which has sponsored the program InVenture Fund, which provides grant funding for small businesses, which has been championed by Senator Neal. So that's been a great success for us as well. We do co-marketing on that program and help our businesses gain more access to funds as well.
Thank you. And Mr. Marejo is trying to find the name for me. We had a bill, Senate Bill 161 in 2019, and it was co-sponsored by myself and then Senator Ben Kekeffer. And it was another option for small businesses to be able to access capital when they couldn't through conventional ways. Are you familiar with that? And I'll call the name just as soon as I find it.
I would have to hear it by name, but as of right now, I'm not familiar.
Okay, thank you. And I know that Senator Neal, we owe a debt of gratitude to her because almost every session that I've been here, she's done something on behalf of small businesses, so thank you all. Committee members, additional questions?
For the record, Cesar Marejo, Community Policy Analyst. Thank you, Chair Spearman. Senate Bill 161 from the 2019 session established the Regulatory Experimentation Program for Product Innovation. Under the program, a person can apply to obtain a limited market access to test an innovative financial product without being subject to certain licensing and regulatory requirements. These innovative financial products may include the use of new or emerging technology or a novel use of an existing technology to provide a financial product or service that is determined by the Director of the Department of Business and Industry not to be widely available.
Thank you. So that's what I was thinking of, and thank you.
I'm sorry. Can you name the bill one more time, please? I'm sorry.
Senate Bill 161, 2019 session.
I will have to look into that. I'll have my team check into it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Committee members, additional questions? No? Okay. Well, thank you all so much for coming, all the chambers who were here, and I know that the Las Vegas Chamber was previously committed, and they ran out of people, so they weren't here, but we're going to try to work them in at another time. And with that, public comment. We have any public comment here or in Las Vegas? APS, we have anyone on the phone?
Thank you, Chair. If you would like to participate in public comment, please press *9 now to take your place in the queue. Again, if you would like to speak in public comment, please press *9 now to take your place in the queue. Chair, your line is open and working, but you have no one wishing to speak at this time.
Thank you so much. We just have one more announcement. Our committee secretary today is Ms. Kelly Clark, and I understand it's her birthday. So happy birthday to you. And we're going to do this from the Commerce and Labor Choir. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Miss Kelly. Happy birthday to you, and many more.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I very much appreciate it. Thank you all.
Thank you, and thank you for spending most of your day with us today. We really appreciate that. Okay, comments or questions from committee members? Oh, I wonder, is this a sign? Is this the way we're going to be all session? Probably not. Okay. Yeah, okay. Alrighty, with that, we will adjourn and we will meet back here again on Wednesday, the 15th, at 8 o'clock. Thank you all. We're adjourned.